Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford, on the show this evening is the one and only. Let me just get this right. We have been joined by Compo, Cloggy. No, it's Jimmy, Bridgeman, and Albert. How we doing? The last of the summer line.
All right, Ox, yeah, all right, Bridgeman. How you doing, my good friend Albert?
I'm good, mate. How you doing, Ox, Bridge? Everybody that's listening, how you all doing?
How you doing, Bridge?
Oh, hey, what can I say? Marvellous, I'm doing well. Thanks to everybody for your thoughts there. Lovely. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, big signing today. Everybody, welcome to Rangers Radio.
Can I first of all put a shout out for our own Ronnie Bell? Ronnie went through his operation today. We've not had any feedback, but we're all thanking you, Ronnie, and all the best for everybody here at Rangers Radio. Here. Okay. Better never stops. I've got a question for you three highly intellectual human beings.
Here we go.
Have you been doing your homework, Albert?
No, I'm not doing my homework. I've been my books, my school bag. It's all going.
I've kept it simple for you. It's a yes or a no answer.
Oh, I'm good at them.
Yes. So is Mrs. Albert. Right.
It's not all the time.
It's going to be one of the nights.
Right, here we go. It's a simple question for you, highly intellectual individuals. You ready, GFK?
Yes, Bill.
Right. Have we got a better squad than we had on the 31st of December? Bridgeman?
Yes.
Albert?
Yeah.
GFK?
Yes.
Happy days. Over to you, Bridge.
Well, if we're speaking about because of, what do you call him, young Suter, I'd like to say welcome to Rangers, Mr. Suter. Whenever you get here, a bigger welcome. And it's just a case of whether Rangers can, shall we say, make a nice financial deal that will suit everybody, preferably Rangers, and they'll bring them in quicker. I don't want to be paying huge money, but you can tell Hearts, they beat it for me when it comes to that money. But I think Jimmy's got a better story than I've got about it. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, he's coming in a free contract. He's coming to join us next season. Obviously, the media will be alive with whether we're going to sign him soon. You've got some thoughts on that, JFK?
Yeah, mate, I do. I think we should offer him 250,000 because I don't think the boy's head's going to be in it. He plays against us on the 6th of February after we play the Puddle Drinkers. So I was on a certain place earlier on and I was quite angry about the money that was bandied about that we should pay for him for a 28-week left his contract, and the figures were going between $1 million and $2 million. Must think we're daft. It's Hearts' fault that they've not signed him on a longer contract. So for me, I would offer Hearts at the very, very maximum 250,000. I think he's a player that we need for a bit of grit in the centre of defence. Depending what happens with Big Golson, my back four would be Tavernier, Suter, Hollander and Barisic. But that would depend on how Hollander gets on in the coming weeks. So I think he's going to be a good addition to the squad, Oxia. And no, that's just a good addition to the squad because obviously we know. But I think he's in the first 11 for me. I think he's that good. I think he's very decent.
That's
very
bold.
Decent.
That's bold, mate. Your thoughts, Albert?
Not a brown penny would I give him. Not a penny. I'm with Jim for Paisley. Pick up his wages. That's about it. Not a penny. Nothing. Now that he's signed for us, I see we're even stronger position now. Just let the transfer window run down and let them panic. Mm-hmm. If they want to keep him, they keep him. If they don't, they don't. If they want money, they want money. And knowing that, horrible wee boot, she'll want money.
I'm guessing here, Albert. I'm really guessing. I reckon 5 to 7 at Hearts. Would that be fair?
5 to 7.
Grand.
Aye. Okay, his wages, aye. Okay, not doing a great deal there, know what I mean? Because they're in a terrible state. No, let's be honest about it, man.
Maybe I've been complimentary to Hearts with the 7 there, but we'll go for 5. 20 weeks to go. That's 100,000 in wages. Yeah.
Aye. I'd pick that up. It's like Jim. I was with Jim. I listened to Jim last night, and everybody was against him. And I'm saying, no, I'm with Jim. Definitely, I'm with Jim, 100%. And you can't convince me differently, by the way, because I know you're going to try to convince him. I was like, don't change your mind, Jim.
Well, it's only Jim did, and it's only 5 past 8. By the time we finished, we will. Yeah. Right. Okay. I've got to read you something. You might find this quite interesting. Yeah. Hearts play 3 at the back with Suter playing the right hand side. This setup gives him more freedom to move up higher the pitch to use his good range of passing to help him with the build up. Yeah, sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Happy with that?
I don't know.
Suter is a strong defender. His defensive duel success is 71.6%, one of the best in the league. He rarely gives away fouls, only 0.66 per 90 minutes, one of the lowest rates in the league. Aerially, he's fairly dominant, with a success rate of 62.5% success rate. Happy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? He's very mobile, aggressive defender, capable of cutting out passes, and shown by his 9.7 out of 10 interception, which is around the highest in the league. His positioning himself well to intercept and block shot. He's near the top in the league for block shots with over 1.26 per 90 minutes. Happy, GFK?
I'm very happy, mate. You know,
you'll like this.
Right.
Yeah? On the ball, Suter can be described as a ball-playing centre-back that's capable of progressing the ball into a more dangerous area of the pitch for passes to the final third. Forward passes and progressive passes per 90 minutes, he ranks near the top with 8.6. I don't really get that, but he's near the top in that in the league, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's more. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
Any guess where that's came from?
I think there was some sort of... but it's no investigation. Is it a kind of putting together some sort of portfolio to see if this player suited them?
That comes from Boys Analytics.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
We're shouting them ball in.
Yeah.
It's a certain team should be saying them all better.
One of them, they've been doing it at his playground as a primary way. No, I mean, a primary school doing it there. No, I mean, no them. So I wouldn't take much what they say. But anyway, aye.
If they went to see his mom, I'm sure she would have told them where to go. Bridgman.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, bet that was a shocker.
I think one of the was at Foxy that said something about it just before the programme started. And nothing would surprise. By the way, the boy's been playing quite well for the last couple of seasons. Fortunately, he's managed to get himself injury-free and put in some really good performances, particularly against us. I thought he played well against us. So I don't have any complaints about the guy, and I think Rangers will do well. If we can get him and keep him fit, then we'll be doing really, really well. And he's an international. He's now an internationalist, and they've got him in a free contract. That, by the way, those words are they really say something. Rangers have got a Scottish internationalist on a freedom of contract signer. Man, just magic. Maybe I have to pay some money.
That's a good deal. Listen, I wish him all the best. GFK, we'll see where his Rangers journey takes him.
Yeah, look, by all accounts, in the day's market, Oxshire, he's a £3 to £4 million player. Right, that's what he is. We can't get away from that fact. And for Rangers to sign him on a pre-contract is a fantastic bit of business. I disagree with Albert. I'd rather we got him now. I want to bed him in for the European campaign next season. But I wouldn't go any higher than 250,000 if that's what it was. No, I'm not getting into this. But no, you said to me the other night about how much he was worth. I said between 1.5, 3. But you said 50,000. 50,000 is not going to work with him. But it depends what the players he does. And for me, We all know his connections and that with Rangers and that his family. I think it's a great.
50,000 gets you close, mate. If you're taking his 5-7 grand, whatever it is, wages off their bill, you're paying his wages. There's 100 grand, 50,000. You're starting getting up towards the 200,000 mark, yeah.
Aye, but see, the thing is, I mean, I don't want to be talking about other forums now, but they're under the impression that we're stealing them off of Hearts, and that can be, that's further for the truth of anything. It's Hearts' fault that's came to this situation.
And the same thing could happen to us with your vice captain, yeah. It's
of
just
course it could.
Football.
It is, mate. And that's it. I mean, if a shoe was never fit, they'd be the same, And I think it's a great bit of business, And if we get him for, we get him for nothing. We get him for nothing. He comes next season. But if we can get and give a wee dab at it and say, well, there's 250,000 or 100,000, and we get him. If they're no desperate for the money, that's up to them. But look, the guy's he's not going to be in it. I'd like to see him in the night I'm at Ibrox and he's still with Hearts and he comes to Ibrox to play against us. How he reacts to that if they do play him. So for me, it's a great bit of business. I think he'll go and be a Rangers great. And I did say, and I know I had a lot of people, sorry for digressing a wee bit, I had a lot of people giving me in the neck about making a comment about Bassey. But I still stand by that. And for me, it would be, Bassey would miss him for that.
Everybody knows you were wrong. Albert.
There it is.
Albert.
Well, the Suter, what you want me to talk about Suter?
Aye, of course.
The deal. The deal's a good deal. I mean, if we get him for nothing, the deal's a good deal. For business sense, how he's going to pan out as a player, well, I don't know. I can't comment. I just don't know, mate. But any deal we're getting like that is good deals, I mean, honestly, because at the end of the day, we can't afford to run about splashing money that we've no got. And any money we have got, we've got to be very, very careful. We've got to get this right. And we can't just all of a sudden go back to David Murray days and we'll give you 4 million for him or 3 million for him. They days are done, especially in Scotland. Know what I mean? So, nah, I wouldn't give them a brown penny. We've got the player now. He signed a pre-contract. He's our player at the end of the season, and that's the end to it. Now, if she's in financial difficulty, they've got a dilemma, same as we've got a dilemma with Golson. They've got to hold the player, I would imagine, for the European spot. They're wanting the European spot because that brings them another revenue stream, same as us. No, I mean, there's nothing new about it, no. I can't see them letting them go. And then you get Nielsen. He's coming out with a part, or it'll take some substantial amount of money to move him. And then we've heard this about that clown before, and Levine, and that Stubbs and all that. We've heard all that, especially when it comes to Rangers. No, I mean, no money. No money changes hands, by the way.
I'll tell you
just tell him, he's buying him a new pair of boots, and that's it.
Every day it goes by, the same as we've got with Connor, the other team are in the driving seat, mate, yeah, because you get nearer when the guy moves to you, yeah. Of course,
yeah,
exactly.
Golson to me is a dead rubber now. For me, he's gone. I just look at his performances very carefully, and up to now, up to when Gio come in, he's starting to play well, and he better keep that up, because he'll hear me if he doesn't keep it up. Because
I'm sure that'll be the last thing in his mind when he goes to bed at night. I better play well because I feel better,
Aye. I'm thinking Mario Hughes jumped on my case.
All right, okay. I'm sure.
I know you're not jumping the case because he's getting plenty, you know what I mean? But that's a strange thing. Not a mention of who's in for him. Not a mention of anybody sniffing around looking for him or coming in for a pre-contract on him or trying to take him in this window. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I find that very strange.
He's left himself a wee bit exposed. Well, listen, there's about 2 and a bit weeks left. JFK, the transfer window. So far, we've brought in 2 internationalists, yeah? JFK. You're on mute, mate.
I'm here. I've got you.
Right.
Mute, let it alone.
Yeah. 2 internationalists were brought in. Yeah, I know they've not got millions and millions of caps, but they're also a good age as well, yeah? Yeah,
definitely. I'd said weeks ago, I'm not concerned about bringing a lot of players in. Apart from, obviously, I would like to still see a right winger, but I'm pleased with it. If we can keep everybody else. Look, I would like to see Golson stay. But if he's going to go, he's going to go. And I think you've got an automatic replacement in there be Suter. But I'm happy in what the guys done. I mean, the boys Sands, what I've saw him that full 90 minutes I watched of the MLS Cup final, he looked tidy. And we know what Suter's about. I think it's what we're missing in the centre back position, a bit of grit and somebody who's no fear to tackle at times. So I'm happy going along with that, and we'll just see how it progresses. There's 17 days to go, and we could lose players. We don't know. Joe's doing well, Hingmary's. There's a lot of raving out about him. Similar today, I read a comment that Arsenal supposed to be sniffing about him. We just need to wait and see, Ox, here. Who comes in, who leaves, whatever, and it's out of our hands. We as fans and can just look out for the outside and just think we want to keep him. We need to keep him. We can't stop that.
Things can change quite a lot in a couple of weeks. Just ask Novak Djokovic, Prince Andrew, and Boris Johnson. Things changed in a fortnight.
Good point.
It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to.
Some half back line, that,
innit? But good signing for us. I agree with Albert. I can't judge him 100% on a footballing front, because we don't know till we get them on the park, Albert, if they're going to, the way of expectation, how you're going to fit in the personalities. A bit of luck involved as well, mate.
That's it. And I wouldn't like to do that. I wouldn't like to guess on the boy, I mean, I like to watch them and then I'll give you an honest opinion. It's only an opinion, it's no right. I'm not saying that I'm right all the time and it's my opinion and then nobody else's. It's just, you just look at the player. But I like to run the eye out of myself, before I say anything. I don't think it's fair on the boy, But you'll get the usual outside Rangers haters telling you how bad a player he is and he's this, that and the next thing, So you're expecting that. But we'll see. For all accounts of the guys on here that I've been listening to through the week, everybody's happy with him, so I'll go with them. I'll go with a Rangers supporter telling me he's a player.
Will change their mind, Albert.
What's that? Say it again, mate.
Okay. We all there?
Yeah, we're up there.
Aye. Don't know what happened there. I wonder if Boys Analytic will be okay with Albert.
I don't understand that, what you mean.
Well, he was the greatest thing since sliced bread, but now he's signed for us. They might not like him.
Oh, aye. They'll be sitting going, oh, God, who made that up? No, aye, so...
They're a separate entity.
We'll see. I know, mate. I'll see.
The headline that got me was the other day. It popped up, and it was Riley McGree as Andy Postecoglou, his fifth signing as he uses his Australian connections. Well, that's why. And I wish I had a vodka in me, because that's the only way I could say it. Postecoglou. And these things are funny, and same as the people who put the analytical, whatever you want to call it, survey or study on what John Suter was going to be doing for them. Same as I saw a thing with her, and it's Middlesbrough getting back at them, that they put a picture up of the new boy in his green top. He says, "I know you prefer red," he said, "but we thought we'd put you in green today." Some may like it, some may not. That's them getting at them, Absolutely brilliant. It's, the rubbish we're hearing about the three world's greatest football players coming from Japan and the difference they're going to make. They're bought nobody. We've still got a strong squad. We've lost one fringe player for £16 million. Who's in turmoil? They think we are. I don't know why.
The people do leave our club. If they do leave our club, if they want to leave and the money's right, it's flipped. Albert, it's going to be a right through quid, then Bridgeman.
That's it, the bar set now, man. We'll go for baseline now, so I'm happy. I'm more. It's sure Robertson said it himself the other day, the baseline's there, so we name out of this, he's worth 20 million, but we'll give $1.5 million and maybe a $500,000 add-on, you know what I mean? There's none of that now. It's the proper money now we look for. And rightly so. We're back, mate. Let's be honest, we're back. All we need to do is a few deals going our way, and that'll be it. I'm laughing at them turmoil, Jimmy. It's them, it's in turn. They ran away for the game there.
Aye.
Right. And they ran away for the game because they couldn't afford to give out the biggest pie day of their season. The Rangers are coming to town. And we know all their supporters turn up to see the Rangers. The only time they fill their ground. So they can't afford to give that away. That's what it's all about. They've been doing it for the last 2 or 3 years. So who's in turmoil? They're scraping. We're gonna. We don't care. Just play the game.
I don't think you're fair there, Albert. I think you're I think it was the money to get all the banners at the dry cleaners. It was the cost.
Brilliant.
Bridgman?
Brilliant. Oh, that's well done, Oxford. Well done. I was just waiting that wee thing coming in. Brilliant. No, I think the turmoil is turmoil. And we've been in turmoil. We know what turmoil is like. And I'm sure they've been in turmoil numerous times. Excuse me. But we're not in turmoil at the moment. We've got quite a good squad.
For those that are listening, Bridge, who don't understand, I'll say it once. Yeah, we've had our ups and downs with some tragedy. I'd swap our history every day of the week for theirs.
Yeah, unbelievable, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely, man.
As far as the football's concerned, there were a couple of games out of that young Japanese boy who came across and he scored a couple of goals. And he's the greatest player in the world. And his teammates have come over and they're going to make him even better, or they're going to be even better than him. Just rubbish.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
See, they've got a founder's tale going. Nah, starts off at Berlin and goes into the sheriff court now.
A bit of luck, it ends in a high court. Yeah. Right. Let's see if we get these phone lines open. Get people's thoughts on the John Suter deal. I think it's simple, GFK. Good or bad, it's as simple as that.
Oh, definitely, mate. It's happy days. No, we're not resting on our laurels. We're going forward, mate.
All right. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay. Well, Giovanni, do you think he'll be? How much play do you think he'll have in this, or do you think he maybe have been somebody who was on the radar before Giovanni came in, and it's been a Ross Wilson, if you like, signing? Any thoughts, Bridgman, and then Albert and GFK?
Giovanni's been very quiet and reserved, and he hardly said a word to anyone, and there's nobody that said a word to him. But I think he sees what he wants. You know, he got what he wants, and he's telling you in his interviews, he's telling you what he wants done, and it's all happening for him. As far as I can see, it's all happening for him. And if he gets John Suter in when he wants him at the right price, I'm sure he'll be a very, very happy man. And I don't know if there's a better manager in the United Kingdom now than Giovanni Barkers. I don't think so. He's really, really good, doing well, as opposed to his counterpart over on the other side of the set.
I'm going to warn the threes. No more mentioning the name. All right. That includes myself. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Albert.
I think Gio had a big influence in it, mate. It's a moving market, so the Suter deal didn't come up until you get to the January transfer window, because they could quite easily sign an extension of Hearts. But I think it's a moving market, and it's showing Wilson is right on top of the market, seeing who's where, what they're on their contracts, what possible chance you've got for deals. So when Suter came up, I dare say he discussed it with Gio and his team. Absolutely, mate. If it was a sort of long-term strategy, following a player for years, or a year or 2 years, then okay, you'd probably run that by him and say, this is who we intend to bring into the club if the opportunity arises. But with the Suter one, that was just a liquid situation. No, I mean, it happened. It came up, he didn't sign his contract, or didn't sign an extension, so it came there. So I think Gio had a big influence in it.
Okay, I get you. Obviously, ultimately, I hope he's getting a yes or no. Albert, yeah?
Yeah, that's that. And he should. That's the way it should be. End of the day, you're the one that's going to work with the players, isn't it? Yeah. And it's no use bringing players in that doesn't fit the system, or doesn't fit what you envisage, what your insight of the picture should be. So, I'd think Gio would say, yeah, nay. I'd let any manager, suppose, isn't it?
JFK?
Yeah, I think Gio would have a big influence on it. I think the Ross Wilson would have some sort of list, obviously, of players that we've looked at, whether it be in the last season or the last couple of seasons, and he's obviously sat with Ross Wilson and studied that, and he's obviously said, look, I'd like to have him here, and it's came to fruition. So, yeah, it's probably somebody who we've been looking at maybe for a season or so. I know he had a couple of injuries, and it's maybe put Rangers off again in at that time. But yeah, I would say that Gio's had a good look at him, Oxia, and decided I want him here. So well done. Ross Wilson, well done as well. Definitely.
Would they be just sitting in a list? They'd be there with people doing their homework, Bridgman, or the players that's out of contract, and then it's yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yeah, and it becomes that simple sometimes, yeah.
No, that's a distinct possibility. Personally, I think his form has been very good over the past 2 seasons, particularly when he's played against us. And invariably, if you play well against us, Rangers take notice of it at the highest level in the club. And he's done well. He scored the goal against us. So I think it had been. We were talking about it, last season. At the beginning of this season, should we be going for John Suter? And I was one of the ones that said no, but really, he's here. That's all I've got to say about it. And yes, I think Rangers have been following him for the last couple of seasons.
When you said no, Bridgman, was that because you didn't want to buy him for Hearts?
Correct, 100%. Okay. Not one brown copper coin.
I'll doff my hat to you, my old mucker. You're nothing but not consistent.
Well, thank you very much for that. And I really do feel that. I feel so strongly about Scottish football and that anti-Rangers stuff. And it's still going on constantly. Mm-hmm. And I believe that there was some snide thing that the Hearts put out on their statement or their tweet or whatever it was, telling them that he's still a Hearts fan, he's still a Hearts player, blah, blah, blah,
Yes.
No, I understand that. I'm not being funny. It's the tone of it. It's the tone of it.
Can I come in there, Oxia?
Yes, of course, JFK.
Bridgman, can I ask you, surely if it's to the better Rangers, then it's worth paying that wee bit of money. I can see where you're coming from. I mean, you've had a discussion on this before. I can see where you're coming from about not getting any of my dime, but for me, to enhance the Rangers squad and the Rangers first 11, I think he's a fantastic addition. So I'd like to think you would maybe bite the bullet and say, okay, just let's give him that money. I mean, I think we've stole him off him, Bridgman. I think he's a £3 million player, and we could get him for as little as 100,000 maybe. I'd rather have him now than just coming in as a.
That's a great point, JFK. We talked about it robustly last night, and I'm going to go to that. Not to Bridge, I'm going to go to Albert with that, because he's a man who likes numbers, usually 34, 32, 36. But, right?
That's my sheet.
Right. But what is it worth for Giovanni? Great point, JFK. What is it worth for him to get him in early? Is it worth $100,000 to have him in ready and starting? Is it worth $250,000 to have him in?
See, what is happening here is, I've been listening all week, as I said. We've actually put ourselves into a frenzy here, saying we're needing centre halves, we're short of centre halves, blah, blah, blah. Balogun's injured, and so is Helander. Golson's no sign. And we're sending ourselves into a frenzy. You're going, there's nothing wrong with our centre half. Balogun's back. Big Bass is playing well. You've got your boy Sands coming in. He can play there. The young boy King can play there as well. And Helander will be back. So there's no great rush to get him in. As for settling him in, I think the pre-season will settle him in quite quickly. And so bear in mind, by the way, he might. Pardon?
Do you think it's worth nothing to the manager and the coaching staff to get him in early?
No,
all right,
nothing
okay.
at all.
It's a point of view, but once again, same as JFK, you're wrong. JFK.
No, I think we're going to bring him in. I just think that
if we can, mate.
If we can, and I'll go for between 100,000, 250,000. I wouldn't mind paying that. I disagree with what Albert saying there. I mean, we do need him in. I know we've got centre halves and that, centre backs here, but I still think that the more good players you've got in your squad, then the better the team you become on the day, because it is a squad game now. We all know that, and we're coming up to do the ridiculous decision to play 5 subs, something I don't agree with, but hey ho. And so that means you can have 10 subs on the bench. So that means you can rotate players on a weekly basis on that. So for me, I think get them in, get them knowing how we play, instead of having them in how we play in pre-season. The end of the season, when we win this 56, next season is going to be one of our biggest seasons since they dumped us down to the 3rd division. And it's hopefully the Champions League music is blaring out. And me and my good friend Bridge and yourself, Oxter, and Albert, we're all there listening to it. And that's what I want. And for me, I would bring them in the new if we can. If they want to stick to their guns, that's up to them. But I would bring them in the new.
I'm not calling it 2 years camp when I say this, but if the callers would call up Bridge, are you in the Albert camp or the GFA camp? I'm not saying your camp, GFA. JFK.
Well, Foggy and Clegg.
Yeah, right. I get it. I mean, I think there's rational arguments in both sides, Bridge, man. Huh?
Yeah, I think so too. And look, what Jimmy's saying is true. We've been speaking about this on and off for a wee while, and Jimmy's come up and said that. Over a month ago, he came on and said he sees the boy Suter as a really good player. Most people who say that, they'll come on and they've said he's a really good player. I've just got this. I don't want to support these people. Hate us, right? I don't want to give them any cash if I can help it, right? But if just as JFK's been saying it, in this case, in the same case with Kamara, with Dundee, we gave them some money, which was a fair due. They jumped at it, and I'm quite happy with that. This is just bare minimum stuff. That's all this is, and it's not a big loss of any cash, and it's not going to keep them going for 10 years, which is what they're looking for. They're looking for a £2 million deal. That's what Hearts are looking for.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Nobody's going. I mean, I think Man City wouldn't be that stupid, if that makes sense. Albert, yeah.
Aye, I'm sticking to not a penny, mate. I wouldn't give them a penny. I wouldn't give any Scottish club a penny. It's just we can't even get them to vote our way for anything. If Rangers put the proposal for that movement, it wouldn't have went ahead. If the Rangers put the proposal for the 5 subs, it wouldn't have went ahead. So it's obviously coming from other clubs, and that's one of the reasons I want to give them a brown penny. We never get any support after any of them. I wouldn't have, if I was a Rangers supporter, I wouldn't step in their ground. I don't go to cup games. I won't give them anything. Nothing. End of the day, man, if they die a death, they die a death. I couldn't care less. And that's one of the prime reasons I know in some instance you could be cutting your nose off to spite your face, but I'm prepared to do it with Scottish football. I might not be prepared to do it with other teams outside of Scotland, but I'm prepared to do it with Scottish football.
I think
can't stand them. Hate them, mate.
Correct me if I'm wrong, JFK. You're not interested in that. We're trying to benefit Rangers. Is that the point you're making?
Of course, mate. I'm looking at the bigger picture here. I know there was a lot of bad things done to us and that, but my only concern is turning up at Ibrox, or if I'm watching the telly and watching the Rangers win the game, and if we can get guys like John Suter in, and I'm willing to pay a small price for that, and I'm still quite happy to do that. I can see Albert and Bridgeman's point of view. Obviously, I'm not decrying what they're saying because it's a democracy. But for me, I would bring him in for the benefit of Rangers.
On Rangers Radio is turned into a democracy.
Well, aye, it has, I suppose, aye.
I must have missed that all bit.
Aye, what happened there, by the way? Did the Rockets get put away?
You've got to remember, Ox, the old folks bus comes at 9 o'clock for us.
Albert, here's a question for you. Obviously, I'm in the Jimmy camp, not for the first time, right? But what do you think?
And obviously, a lot of people who
what do you think Giovanni
didn't really understand what was.
Yes or no? What do you think Giovanni would prefer? Did you hear that?
Aye. Well, he's no lived through what we lived through to that point of view. So I think he would.
Don't be a Boris. Just answer the question. What would Giovanni prefer?
I'm getting there. Give me a chance, by the way. It's a talk show. You know what I mean? I'm going to say some words. Well, I've no, so I'll be still here talking about it on Monday. He's not got the history or lived through what we lived through. And so he would probably back Jimmy up and say, we can get him for a nominal fee, bring him in. He'd say, I definitely think he'd go that way. But if I could get to his ear, I would convince him to go the other way and just say, no, we're not giving you a penny. That's the end. I just hate them. I can't. I'm no objective about this. I just hate them. I hate them all. And hate's a strong word, by the way, and I'm using it candidly, by the way, because that's how I feel about them.
I think you'll find that GFK feels the exact same way.
I mean, I do, you know, but I think we've got to be rational about it and say it's for the good of Rangers, you know, and get away from it. We all know we've got the hatred and no one likes us, we don't care, but I'm just wanting to, at the end of the season, be celebrating 56, and if it takes a couple of bob to bring them there to enhance the squad and the team next year, I'm happy for that.
Okay, so we'll change it slightly. We'll get the callers in and see what they think. Is that all right? We used to Titans of Rangers Radio.
There you go.
The Princeman, will we hold the jacket? Will we hold the jacket?
I'll hold the jacket, pal, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. Right, okay, we'll get a wee snippet for Jermaine Defoe that Foxy Boy got for us. He says it's quite interesting, just what was maybe happening in the club, and I don't think he'll be surprised to a lot of us. So if you don't mind, lads, go and mute him. We're going to hear for our ex-striker, Jermaine Defoe.
I mean, there were many people that was sort of like speculating, and obviously a lot of people who, you know, didn't really understand what was going on at the time. Obviously, I've got given a player coach role, but me being me, I just wanted to sort of like just focus on playing. Because remember, the player coach role was something completely different, something that's I suppose it doesn't get given out too much in football, and it was sort of like at the beginning it was difficult to find a balance in terms of like when do I do a little bit of coaching, when do I train 100%, you know. So I obviously had a few conversations with a manager, Stevie at the time, and you know, we spoke about how difficult it was at the time because I was trying to find time to do coaching while playing and training every day. I did a full pre-season. And to be honest, it was like I felt it was really difficult for me because I was so focused on playing. I did everything I did the season before, and wasn't really getting an opportunity throughout the season. And I think it was pretty clear towards the end that I wasn't going to play. You know, I weren't really getting in the squads, and at the same time, still trying to hold on to it. Still, okay, you know, new managers come in Geo. Can I sort of like impress the new manager? Because I've still got that sort of like mentality. Can I still press the manager to get myself on the squad and hopefully get a few games under my belt? Because I just felt like the season before, in terms of stats, you know, every game I started, I scored in. And when you're there, when you're involved in it, and the season that we had before, you know, winning the league and that sort of like feeling. So you can imagine that the next season you still want to be a part of it because you still got that buzz. The fans are back in the stadium, and as we all know, Ibrox is an unbelievable place to play football. So yeah, so it was really difficult for me, even at the age of 39. You know, I still wanted to be involved in that, and towards the end, it's sort of like it was affecting me. I was bringing it home. You know, I was a little bit down and stuff like that. And just had an honest conversation with the club, to be honest. Just had an honest conversation, and it was going to be difficult where I was going to get my games. Obviously, with the new signings coming in, doing well, the club's doing well, and that was it, really.
Jermaine, I remember speaking to you when you signed that one-year extension at Rangers, and you said one of the big reasons was you wanted to play in front of the fans again.
Yeah.
Now, you didn't get that many opportunities to do that. If you can give a message to the fans now, because you really haven't managed to say goodbye to them, have you?
Not really, to be honest, and I wish I could message everyone back. Some of the messages I've received, it's just like, it's unbelievable. Overwhelming, because I look at players like the Ali McCoyses, players that have been at the club and scored a lot more goals than me, been at the club for many years, not just players, staff members that have been at the club for like 30 years. So when I sort of like receive the messages that I'm getting from the Rangers fans, it's a bit like, it's quite emotional, to be honest. And I wish I could message all the fans back, but I'd just like to say thank you for the support. You know, maybe 5 minutes into my first game, you know, they were singing they were singing an unbelievable song, and that sort of like struck me straight away. I thought, wow, this is a special place to play football. My first game was against Kilmarnock, and the stadium was rocking. And from day one, the fans just sort of like, they just took to me, and I bought into the culture. You know, I love Glasgow as a city, and I'm gonna miss it because, you know, all these years, you know, just craving that league title, something that I've always wanted to do as a kid. You can win domestic trophies and that, but to be the best team in the league throughout the season and show that consistency and mental strength, and 55 league titles was something that the club was craving, and, you know, so special and something that will go down in history, and you're part of that. It's not easy to walk away from it, but it's football, it's part and parcel. At times, I believe that you have to put your ego to the side and think about maybe the younger players, the players that are coming up behind you. But I had an unbelievable time there, and obviously I want to thank everyone at the football club, the staff, my teammates, the fans, the ladies in the canteen, you know, the chefs who I've gotten well with, Katie and Hannah. I hope they're watching this. Girls that do the admin, all the work that they put on behind the scenes. As players, we leave the training ground at latest 4 o'clock. The girls are there until sometimes 11 o'clock. So you have to appreciate all these people. I mentioned before about the people. There was a lady called Jean who was at the football club for 30 years, and I remember going into the kitchen and speaking to her. She probably thought, oh, this boy's not shy. So I just started asking questions about previous players. What was Gazza like? What was Ali McCoy like? All these sort of like legends. And we just bonded, to be honest, and she still keeps in contact with me, and she's actually left the club. So all these people, Jimmy Bell, you know, 30 years at the club, funny character. So there's so many great characters at that football club, and people I'm going to miss. But I've said, you know, in a group chat, I'd love to keep in contact with everyone at the club.
The way you're talking, it doesn't sound like you're ready to stop playing yet. Sounds like you've still got that sort of fire inside you to keep on playing.
I think to be honest, I think everyone that knows me, I think I'll never lose that, to be honest. I'll never lose that, because it's something that I've always had. I don't know where I got it from, maybe my mum. But it's something that I've always had. And I just love playing football. I love the game. I love training and being around that sort of like environment every day. Everything about football I love. So to walk away from it, of course, it's going to be difficult. But at some point, I mean, it's the inevitable. It's gonna happen.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Nice words, but if I'm being honest, as we all know, the sands of time wait for no man. Bridgeman?
100%. Certainly won't hold back for you, that's for sure. But a wonderful player for us, great exponent of his skills, and everybody appreciates the goals he scored and the assists he was involved in. And he did some stuff, super stuff for the Rangers. I don't want him to leave or he's left, but I hope it's not going to be any bitter taste. I hope he's not going to leave any bitter taste or bad feelings. Go with pride, head held high. Go for it.
Yeah. Just time to move on, I think, old bear.
He's a classic actor, man. I mean, the goal against Livingston, I'll remember that for the rest of my life anyway. That's just some goal. That's my binding memory of you before. Class player, class guy, class player. I really like the wee guy.
Jimmy, you didn't think we should have signed him, but he's conducted himself first class.
I know he's conducted himself well, mate. I just think that it's not something that I thought Rangers should have been doing at that time, and I still stand by it. I mean, I watched his interview today, and he's got a lot of great things to say, but I don't wish him any ill.
No.
I don't think he was what we were looking for. I think there was other motives why he was brought. That's just my personal feelings on it. But he's gone now, and I wish him all the best and everything he carries on doing. As far as I know, it's supposed to be punditry. So well done to him. He's no left with any bitterness in that, which is good because nobody actually leaves Rangers with bitterness. You know, it's just other happens in other places. But no, it was an interesting interview. It was very refreshing.
I think it's the right thing to do. And I don't think it was just totally. I mean, Jimmy also, again, I'm in Jimmy's camp, albeit I don't think it was necessarily just on the part stuff he was brought in for.
No, it was behind the scenes stuff. No, I mean, I think when he got the coaching role, but I'll agree with Jimmy with that one. I think when he got the coaching role, that was a Pals Act. I really do. I think that was I've brought you up here. I'm giving you another contract, but I can't play you. So, but I've got to show a bit of loyalty because I brought you up here, and so it was a wee bit of Pals Act because he'd tell you sell. He didn't know. It was a case that if they really wanted him as a coach, they structured it properly, like his day properly. He'd have knew exactly what he was to do, when he was to do it, blah, blah. But it was a case of here, change that into the sort of orangey tracksuit. You're now a coach, just go on with it. Nobody's telling him anything, you know what I mean? So, part for that, mate, part for that. I think the guy, I think he done as a turn, I must admit. I really do think he done as a turn. On and off the park.
Mm-hmm. Bridge?
Yeah, 100%. He did a good turn a number of times. The goals he scored, some of the goals, his assists, his confidence in play. That one where he, as I said the other night there, when Kamara passed it through into the box and he just stepped over it and let it go through to Arfield to score against them. Just fabulous stuff. Wonderful exponent of his game, his craft. Wonderful. And a really good, really nice guy. And I wish him the best. Anywhere he goes, I hope he's a success. Really do. I think he's great.
And that was a great goal, Bridgman, wasn't
it? Seriously, that goal. See that was done in the English Premiership. You know, they'd be talking about it. It would be up there among goals of the century. I mean, that was a wonderful move for Rangers. And that's the one where Kamara dummied and set Scott Brown away in a different route, and he ran in a beautiful pass, and he before just stepped over it. What a play! I'm getting excited again. Sorry.
Oh, Mrs. Bridge warned me. You're not excited anymore.
I tell you, seriously, the football. You know how I feel about football, and everybody that listens to me knows what I feel about football, and particularly about Rangers. But I have to say, I'm a very fair person. And only against the Rangers, if we're playing badly, I will be one of the first to put my hand up and say we're poor. I don't want to talk about any other team in that manner.
All right. Best wishes. Goes with our best wishes, GFK, but
yeah.
I think it makes sense and free up some wages, yeah?
Yeah, no, as I say, I don't wish him any ill will. It's just I think it was a mistake bringing him. I know he scored some great goals and that for us, but was never for me, so that's just the way I felt about him, mate. So he's gone now, so let's go onward and upwards, mate.
I asked you a question about half an hour ago about if we got a better squad. We've lost one of the English Premiership's top strikers. We've lost a £16 million player, and we've got a better squad. What's the rationale? All better.
Well, the one with Defoe, you know, I mean, he was only going to be a bit part player, but now you've brought Big Itten back. I've said all along about it. Itten's an impact player. That's all he's ever going to be, an impact player. He's never going to lead the line on a permanent basis, never. But you can come off that bench and influence a game, and he's done it. He's proved it, and that's what I think it's going to be used for. Now, all Defoe's done, all Giovanni's done is told Defoe, right, you need to go, and brought Itten back to have a look at him. And the Rangers, that's all that is. He's just bringing him back to say something new at the end of the season to see if they're keeping him. That's all it is. But I think Big Itten is better than Defoe coming on and impacting a game. He's more legs in him, he's more strength in him, he's younger, obviously. So that in itself strengthens the team as far as I'm concerned. The two internationals come in and speak for themselves, you know what I mean? The proven pedigrees, the two of them. So we'll see what happens there. The only one I'm concerned about is Arfield. I hope he doesn't go. I'll give him an extension.
All right. Listen, I like Scott Arfield, but we'll watch that space. And obviously, big money talks in certain countries, but we'll see where it goes. But JFK, why have we got a better squad?
we've enhanced the squad by bringing the boy James Sands in, and obviously we're bringing John Suter in. Because I've always said I don't think we need to tweak it much. And so I'm still... We've added to the squad. As you rightly say, we've got rid of an England internationalist or £16 million players out the door, you know. So, and we've got a couple of players that could probably go, and we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. And I'm not talking about our big players. I'm talking about some players who are in and out the team every other week, and I would include Scott Arfield in that, but we'll talk about that obviously at a later date. But I'm happy with what we've done so far, mate. Really pleased. 17 days to go. It's when it gets to the last 2 or 3 days we start to bite the fingernails right down. I'm happy.
That's because you've not got time to react to it.
Aye, exactly, mate. Exactly. Aye.
Man,
very happy. Happy.
All right, okay. If he's happy, Albert, we're happy, yeah?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I'm over the moon for Jimmy.
And if Albert's happy, Bridgeman, everybody's happy.
Well, we should all be happy if Albert's happy. For sure.
It happens every time there's an eclipse, doesn't it, Albert?
Aye. Don't know what that is, but aye, definitely.
Right, okay, aye. We've not really touched on that. We obviously, in the last couple of nights it's been spoken about, but we've not heard your thoughts. Bridgeman?
Yeah, I quite liked Itten. I was not in the anti-Itten camp at all. I quite liked him. However, the manager at the time thought it would be beneficial for him to go and get some football, and he went back into an area where he knows, and he's a comfort zone there, and hopefully that's helped him to get his confidence back, whatever confidence he was supposed to have lost. But most assuredly, when you're away on loan and you're playing with a different team, it's very difficult. And he's done what he appears to have done well. So he's come back and he'll be raring to go. And I think Itten will show what he's worth. But he's got to be played. There's no good only keeping him as a last 20 minutes, half an hour person. They've got to play him and find a place for him. Otherwise, he was well just telling me to go, because he ain't going to go. He's not going to show the results.
How do you find a place for him if he's no better than Morelos?
Well, I don't know. I'm talking. It's up to our coaches and staff and main staff to find that and to come up with a plan for that. However, we're under no illusions. Morelos seems to be playing very, very well. Looks as if he's lost a bit of weight and is in his best fitness he's had for a wee while. So he should be coming back, boiling for the game, ready to go, red hot. And Itten, mate, hang on to his coattails and let's do it. Let's see what we can do with him. That's what I say.
Yeah, mate, JFK.
You heard me the other night about Itten. That's not somebody I would have liked to see back. I thought his time had come. But I read something today that might have changed my mind, and the fact is that the Colombian manager is making noises about bringing Alfie to the Colombian squad when we could be missing him for the 3 or 4 games. And I'm just wondering if it's foresight by Gio that he needs another striker, because if Alfie gets called up for Colombia, he will not be playing in the Puddle Drinkers game. So that is my only rationale for that, because I know Roof is injured. Sakala is hot and cold for me, but I'm just wondering if that is why that he's brought Itten back, because there is a lot of coverage on this with Alfie being called back up to the Colombia squad for the 3 World Cup qualifiers, mate.
Albert.
I hope Alfie's no called up. I hate this international football. I don't think this is fair at all. This is just no right. It is the way it is, but it's no right that FIFA and UEFA are competing with their own member clubs, especially UEFA, for the players in the competitions. It's no right. It's garbage, actually. It's absolute garbage. We're paying season ticket money. We're paying all the money, and our players are taking off us for away crappy international duty. I don't see it, mate. I don't see why they get a priority. I really don't. But anyway, that's the way it is. Itten's not going to be a starter. Sakala will be a starter before Itten will be a starter. Itten's an impact player, and that's all he's ever going to be, I'm telling you guys. But he's going to be good at it. Don't get me wrong, he's going to turn out like that boy Fairclough Liverpool years ago, if anybody remembers him. Super sub, they used to call him. Remember him? I think Itten's going to be that type of player. He'll come on and do something. He's proved it so far with us. I mean, he's definitely come on and changed some games, especially against Motherwell. And we all, anybody that scores against them is all right in my book. I'll tell you that right now. I thought he was all right. He's weak at certain things. You think he was going to be good at, like in the air. For the size of him, you think nobody's beating you in the air, but he's not particularly good in the air. He's not particularly fast either, but he can take a shot on and he can take a goal. You know what I mean? I'll give him that. But he'll not replace Morelos. He'll know. He's a bench player.
Okay. I don't disagree with you there, Albert. Any thoughts, Bridge, before we move on?
No, really. Albert's got his opinion on that. I've heard him say that a number of times about Itten. Personally, I differ, because I think what we need is Itten, a person like Itten. If he's got any form at all, he's got to be playing for the start and show what he can do. He's got to be able to do it, and if he can't do it, he's got to go. You know, I'm under no illusions. You can't keep somebody because he's an impact player. He's got to be able to do what he can do, and when he's needed. We can't say, we can't be sitting back saying, we can't play him because he's only an impact player. No, he's got to play. He's on our books. He's got to play. He's been shown it apparently in the European area when he was on loan. He's got to show it now for Rangers.
But Bridge, that's any player that doesn't get in the first team or the impact players. If you're a top player, you're in the team. You know what I mean? So everybody else is an impact player. So you've got to come on and try and dislodge whoever's got the position. And don't see it dislodging Morelos.
Absolutely. Some of these people will never be a first team player ever, and I don't see that with Itten. I think Itten will be a first team player, but he's got to be given a chance. They good a wee 5 minute spell at the end of the game. They good. We've seen him in games when he's played for the start against Motherwell, and sometimes he's come on and he's scored goals. Good goals, by the way, not bad goals, but good goals, and even at Ibrox. So I've been at these games where he's done very well. I quite like the guy. However, I'm under no illusions. If he drops in form, then he's got to go. You've got to sit on the bench and get it back again.
Is this another classic example, GFK, that you need a bit of luck? Sometimes the guys in front of you has to get an injury or suspension and you take your chance.
Of course it is. Of course, but I still stick to what I read today. It's Reinaldo Rueda, the manager of Colombia. He's been on record as saying that Zapata is injured. He's got a bad stomach injury and he's nowhere near fit. And he has stated that he will probably have to call up reinforcements, and one of them will be Alfredo Morelos for the 2 games on the 28th of January and the 1st of February. So I think the manager's maybe shown a bit of foresight here, and he's maybe had that information and he's called Itten back. And look, if Itten comes and does the business for us, well, Alfie could be missing, then we'll be happy for him. But me personally, he doesn't do anything for me, Itten. He doesn't do anything for me at all. I'm not an Itten fan. I've been on here and I've said it many times. So I've got for some reason, only what I've read yesterday in the day, Oxia, that he's been brought back for a reason, and I don't think it's because we need him as a striker because he's playing out his skin. He scored 2 goals for the team that's sitting second bottom in the Bundesliga. So for me, he's no set the hell on fire there. I know it's a better league than the Scottish Premiership, but I'm not convinced what it can bring to us. But that is only my rationale why he's been brought back. Maybe his cover. He's got to bring him back before the month ends, or else he can't bring him back at all at the end of the season. So he's brought him back for a reason. I don't think it is that he sees that he can do something for us, because I just don't think he's a Rangers player. I don't rate him at all, mate. But that's just my opinion, and that's what Rangers Radio is all about.
Albert, he's always got an opinion.
I think he's brought back because the Defoe's away. I don't think he's brought back because Morelos might get called up. He's looked at his forwards and he's now took a forward out, sent him away and went, we've got one out in loan, right, bring him back. I think it's as simple as that. I don't think there's any more to it than that. Plus, it lets him have a look at Big Hitton for the remainder of the season. And he'll make a judgment on him later on in the season and say, you're staying, you're going. So, we'll see. We've all got our opinions. Jimmy thinks one thing, I think another thing. The proof of the pudding's in the eating, innit? We'll see what happens. And if the boy comes on and smashes in a few vital goals for us, we'll always singing his praises. If anybody comes on and smashes in the vital goals, we'll all be singing their praises.
All right.
I hope he did. I really do hope he did.
All right, gentlemen, get yourselves on mute because we've got to have a tune.
Took a trip to Eyebrow, my favorite team for to cheer, where they were playing the Glasgow Celtic on the first day of the year. Now the ground was filled to capacity as the teams come out to play. The animals sang the soldiers' song, and the people sang Dolly Gray. Now half-time it came around, the Glasgow Celtic were in the lead. Finian Tully was drowning everywhere, shaking his rosary beads, while the green flags, they were flying high. Celtic hearts were full of pride. The second half, sure it started, and the Rangers, they turned the tide. Won't you play up the Glasgow Rangers? Oh, play up the boys in blue. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. We're here to cheer for you. Now the ball goes out to Walker, and from 30 yards he did score. Sure you couldn't hear your ears at Ibrox Park for the sash my father wore. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. Sammy Cox is on the ball. He slips it through to Willie Woodbarn, then on through to Ian McCall to Billy Simpson. Oh, here come the boys in blue. Well, Simpson beats the Celtic centre half, and then goes number 2. Now the Rangers fans are roaring. Jardine Young, he takes a free onto the head of William Simpson. And then goes number 3, while it's 3-1 for the Rangers. That was the final score. A happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Fenians once more.
Well, thanks for that. We're back, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, man. One of my favourites, that. One of my favourites.
Yep.
An oldie but a goodie, a bit like both your good selves.
Why?
All right, so we brought in a utility player, is that fair? And a centre half, yeah?
Yep.
We've lost a right back, fringe right back, and we've lost a fringe centre forward. What else do we need?
Right winger.
Now, right winger.
Yep.
All right. Albert.
Tank midfielder.
In what vein?
Scotty Arfield.
Say that again, mate. Sorry, missed that.
Scotty Arfield, replace Scotty Arfield with an attacking midfielder. His type of player, it breaks the lines, you know what I mean? Breaks the defensive lines, gets some fronties forwards.
Anybody spring to mind, mate?
I can't think of it. I like that. See the boy Bowen. I know we're not going to get him, but that type of player, I like him. I like that boy. West Ham, aye. That type of player, great player. Or the wee Lingard guy. See the wee Lingard guy for Manchester United, how he's mincing about with them and not getting a game, I don't know. That boy's just too good to be sitting on benches. He really is. Anyway, that type of player. Probably not that calibre. I'm no suggesting for a minute we can afford to get somebody that calibre. No, I mean an established one, maybe an up-and-coming one that you spy early doors and get him in. But that's the type of player I'm talking about.
All right, okay, I get it. Man, they're hard to find, Alberta.
Oh, they ones are difficult to find, mate. No, they're no 10 a penny. You know what I mean? They're pretty thin on the grundies, and they go for decent money. You know what I mean? I suppose everybody's looking for the same type of players, aren't they? You know what I mean? It's one of these things, isn't it?
So, GFK, African League of Nations, needing some referees who can tell the time we were there, mate.
Oh, I tell you one thing. See anybody that's suffering from insomnia? Watch that. Oh, it's absolute dire, mate, isn't it? It's poor.
I can't watch it, Jimmy.
Well, I'm only going to watch the Nigeria games because Joe Aribo's playing, or as the commentator calls him, Joe Aribo. But that's the only reason I'm going to watch it, because obviously, I mean, my lunch and my main player, but the referee, it's just the. No,
what's the temperature over there, Jimmy? They mentioned the temperature. Everybody looks knackered.
Said the other day it was 41.
Everybody looks.
Cameroon, remember?
See that next World Cup? That's going to be the exact same as that. Walking pace. Nobody's going to be able to run about.
If no worse, mate. If no worse.
Aye.
If no worse, mate. Aye. It's going to be tragic to watch.
The referees are poor. 85 and 89 and 90 and 93. And God's sake. No, it reminds me, I was funny, I was talking to one of my pals, it reminds me of the BB games at White Inch Park. Because after my BB game in the morning, I had to play for my other team in the afternoon. One ref. Aye.
It proves to me they're qualified to referee in Scotland, I'll tell you that.
Aye, it's poor, but the whole setup's poor. The fitness poor, and I know that they've got to play that because it's their big tournament, like our European Championship. So, aye, but I'll only watch the Nigeria games. I'm not watching any more. You know.
Do you know what makes it garbage? It's the style of football, Jimmy. Everybody's adopted a European style of football, and that's when I lost interest in football. When Brazil adopted, I think it was at Dunga, adopted the European style. That finished it for me, because I used to like the World Cup for all the different styles of football. You know, they all had their own signature on a game, and it was brilliant watching the Brazil samba stuff. It was excellent. It was just excellent. But now they all adopted this crazy, stupid European style, and it's all just boring to me. It's just the same all the time. It's just boring. And that African Cup there, it just proves it. I mean, it's all European. Most of it is European. No, most of it, but a lot of European coaches on it. Know what I mean?
Well, that's where the money is, isn't it, Albert? That's where the money is. They come across for Argentina, for Brazil, and they all congregate. Obviously, they can go to Portugal for Brazil and Spain for Argentina, for instance. So they get good. Don't need to worry too much about language problems. Straight in there, if they're good coaches are in, and the players as well.
They get VAR there, I don't know. If that'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd be good.
All right, we've been joined by Andy, who leads. Evening, Andrew.
Good evening, chaps. How you doing? Everybody okay?
Hi, Andy. How you doing?
Hi, Andy.
On this panel of the night, you're young Andrew. Carry on.
Young Andrew. I can live with that, and it's been a long time since I've been called young, that's for sure. No, listen, on the Suter one, No, listen, I think we should be going for him straight away. Get him in there and listen, I know what's been done to
How much?
I would just pay his wages out, but I would get up at 250 grand. I'm definitely with Jimmy right enough. I mean, we've got a wee bit of money now. We don't, spend some of it. That's not going to break the bank. We've got to go and, for me, get him. You don't know if we're going to get injuries or out like that. And you see this, but no giving him any money. I get all that, what's been done to us and all that. I get all that, Keith. But listen, if we get a good Scottish player that wants to come to Rangers, that's going to enhance Rangers, then we're going to have to put a bit of money out there. Forget all that. It's about Rangers going forward and what these guys can do for Rangers if they're good enough. So to keep on saying we're giving them nothing, you're cutting your nose off to spite your face there, in my opinion.
I never thought I'd say this. Andy for Leeds is a wise man. Albert?
No for me, mate. Yeah. I don't forget. I'll never forget. Not the day they put me in a box, mate. I'm never forgetting and never forgiving. I hate them. I want to fight them. I don't want to be pals with them. I want to fight them every day of the week and twice on Sundays, mate. I hate them. Absolutely hate them. All of them. And I wouldn't give them nothing. Nothing. I'll never forget what they done to us, Andy. They done the dirty. The real done dirty to us. It was bad. It was bad beyond belief. I don't forget the headlines and what they were all up to. They try to finish our club. That's beyond the pale, mate. That's no just saying, right, you're done there because you've done this and blah, blah, blah. That's fair enough. I can handle all that. It's all in dirt and crap it went with it, and we were down and they were kicking us and they were fining us and they were doing all sorts to us. Yeah. No, never forgive me.
I totally agree with that, Albert. I totally agree with that. I'm the same as you. I'd fight them every day of the week if I could. But I'm just looking at, right, we've got to make sure that Rangers are first and foremost in this. And if we get players that want to come to Rangers, really want to play, we've got to look at it and say to ourselves, come on, we're going to need to do something here. Or are we going to end up just going outside of Scotland all the time and then we're going out totally away from where we should be, in my opinion, as I said the other night. I get you, Albert. I totally get you.
No, if the player wants to come and he's Scottish, blah, 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 and he wants to come and he plays for one of that mob, let him run his contract and come to Rangers then. Let it be known. We'll sign a Scottish player for one of their clubs. You like your own contract, you can come to us. But we're not giving you any money. Not giving any of them any money.
Can I come in there, Oxy? Is that all right?
Yes, you can. But Jimmy, I've totally seen me. I'm a bit intimidated. All this violence. This night out's got me very worried.
Oh, no, tell me about it, mate. I'm how you doing, Andy, pal? Nice to hear you.
No bad, Jimmy.
I totally agree with what Andy's saying, but I don't see, you're talking about they try to weaken us and they try to kill us and all that. Look, we could weaken them by buying their best players or whatever way we get them. And for me, John Souttar should be at Ibrox, the Mora, as far as I'm concerned. And if it's 250,000, then I'm happy for Rangers to pay that. Look, we can go on and on and on of what they did to us and all that and how it hurt us and they don't like us and we don't care about that. But look, we're hurting them. If you had watched the Nielsen interview, right, he's hurting. He didn't want to lose John Souttar. He's a £3 million player and Rangers have got him for next to nothing. That's hurting them, guys. Let's hurt them where it really hurts, in the pocket. And that's what we've done. Bring them in now. Go on, become champions 56 times, get into the Champions League, and who cares where Hearts finish? So let's look at it a wee bit more rationally. I know there's a bit of anger and hatred, but as Oxier said, I'm one of the older ones in the panel. I'm a wee bit younger than Albert and my good friend Bridgeman, but I'm old enough to know that sometimes you've got to forgive and forget is two different words, so you maybe got to put them together sometimes and think at a bigger picture, guys.
Well, you might hear a bit of rummaging coming from me, man. That's me in the wardrobe looking for my blade because I want to go ahead with a lot of them. I'm no forgiving them.
Just for the record, Rangers Radio cannot condone violence of any sort. He's looking for his razor. He's looking for his razor blade, yeah. Or his mythical blade. Talking about a top swordsman, we've been joined by Alex Kelly.
Good evening, Oxford. Good evening, lads.
Hi, Alex.
Evening.
I just caught that there at the right time. Go on yourself, up there. Still up for it.
Still up for it, my age, mate. Alex, I'm still up for it.
Alex, he's looking for somebody to hold the coats, pal.
He's going to play a
Doesn't
part
need
in
that.
it. He's missed
He
out.
doesn't need that blue pill after all.
He's missed out and still getting its cocoon for him.
What I want to know is, how do you hold yourself up when you're swinging a knife and you're trying to keep yourself up with your zipper?
That's what she's for. Take her away, mate.
He started one thing. He doesn't look for nothing in his house. If he wanted to get something out of the wardrobe, Mrs. Allbear would have to go and get it for him.
Listen, I was sitting last night and I got a text, right? And
were you in Love Island? Were you in Love Island?
No, I got a text that says, "Come into the kitchen." And I went to the kitchen and it was for my wife.
God,
she says,
we don't want to know.
and the way back for the kitchen, bring me the chips.
Oh, we've got
That's relevant. Oh dear.
It's good to talk. Anyway, what's on your mind, Alex?
I caught a wee bit about Andy says there. I'm in Andy's camp. I'm with JFK camp.
Is that Andy camp or Camp Andy?
Aye, both. He's a banger anyway.
Aye, but I'm no camp when I'm banging, that's for sure.
No, ladies present. Listen, we know the hurt we've been through the last 10, 11 years, and the financial footing that we were forced to play with. Now we've actually got ourselves in a position of strength now with these other clubs where we can actually dictate to them a wee bit whether we're going to give them money or no. The fact that the boy Shooter wants to come to our club is good enough for me. So as long as it's not crazy money, listen, this is a £40 million season for us. Go and get him. He wants to play for us, be in our jersey. So go and get him and get us that league title.
Is the point you're making, is don't cut off your nose to spite your face?
Aye. Well, listen, we all know that they kind of hurt and how we were treated. That we'll never forget that, and we'll never forgive. But listen, use our position of strength, go and weaken them, and make us stronger, because it's all about us. It's always been about us. But listen, we're the top kiddies now in Scotland. Let's flex our muscles a wee bit.
I don't know. I mean, I think are you telling me the top kiddies and another team signed the 3 greatest players the world's ever seen? Is that what you're telling me?
Come on, you wake up, Alec. Come on.
Is that what you're telling me? They've signed the 3 greatest players the world's ever seen. And we're the top kiddies.
Do you know something? I to try and it was a bit of a conundrum for me. Right?
Big word, Jimmy.
It's a big word. See the baldy-headed Japanese player. I can't say his name. Right? He's a guy. He's his head sheet. No, but I was wondering where I'd last.
He's got a bowler hat.
No. Listen, I'm serious, AK. Right? I was wondering where I last seen him. Right, and then it came to me when I watched it last night. I've seen Bruce Lee batter his head in an Enter a Dragon.
No.
Good for the night, boys. Good for the night.
I don't think you should be putting down the 3 greatest football players the world's ever seen.
Oh, definitely not.
Let's see who's laughing last. Who's laughed last and laughs longest? Albert.
Quite right, mate. Quite right. Don't listen to anything say that, Bob. You know what I mean? It's, they're probably all 5 and 6 or 10 and all that. No, I mean they'll probably be the separate entity brigade. No, I mean so. I don't listen to them. We'll soon see who's what's what. They're talking about cancelling the game already, aren't they? They're talking about changing the game, moving it again, because they might all be going to play for Japan. I don't believe that for a minute. I don't believe it for a minute.
There's been a big statement made about that. We don't want to talk about them, but there's been a big statement made about the Japan thing, so we'll leave it at that. But who wants to talk about them, you know? But it's brilliant because I brought 3 brilliant world-class players in who are going to just obliterate everybody, and I can't wait to see them. Oh. Can't wait.
It's just crazy, isn't it? They're just nuts. The whole thing's just nuts. Just nuts.
No, I mean, I said earlier on, I don't want to talk about them, but, you know, they went for bargain basement. We've been there. We've had to sign players that we knew we were struggling, but at least we weren't deluded, you know. You know, we knew we were watching. Anyway, we've been joined by a legend, and you go easy with him. The guy deserves the utmost respect. It's George for UK. Evening, George.
Evening, gentlemen. Evening,
all right, Gio.
All right.
Hello, George.
All right, Gio. All right, pal.
There, how you doing? All right, fucking bridge man. Everybody, all right, through.
George,
hey, George, get in here and give me a horn here. I'm the only one that's taking them all on. You don't want to be pals with me, you know.
I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. We're getting there with a face full of heaters. Who's full of heaters, mate? Right in there. You messed about.
Aye.
Oh, dear.
Only answer.
It's only me and you, George. Bring your equipment with you.
Hell, you're right in the cupboard of his last like my cupboard. That one's a bit small, you saw that one's a bit bigger. I know what I mean, but I've seen a lot of things, why we know what I mean about the lottery parts, man, expecting a wad of money off his man for a player, man. It's only got a few months left in his contract, man. What are they like, man? They're unbelievable, aren't they?
Aye, definitely, mate, definitely. Especially the money they're talking about. I mean, it's not like they're talking 100,000. Aye, well,
I think the thing that makes Hearts even more angry under their officials is that he's gone to Rangers. It's as simple as that. He's gone to Rangers. If he'd have gone to any other club in Scotland or even down in England somewhere, they wouldn't have bothered that much. See, he's going to Rangers. Oh my God, the world's coming to an end for them. Coming to an end.
Cammy Hamlet got the champions. That's what it is.
Greedy there.
Aye, I think you're right, George. I think you're right. I think there's a bit of that, and that's how I think his agent will be trying to say, look, he's had abuse online already, and can't handle it. Rangers will pay his wages. You maybe get a couple of quid, and literally a couple of quid, but either that, and they'll kick him off and you at the end of the season. That's the kind of thing, yeah.
Yep. 100%, mate. I'm a big agree with that totally.
What else is on
your mind? I was a bit gutted about me about Defoe going by me. I'd rather have kept Defoe and have him back. I don't rate it at all, to be honest with you, man. I know he scored a few goals against Motherwell, but I just don't think he scored it for Rangers. I really don't. I'd rather have Defoe to the end of the season. I would have. Because he definitely scored goals.
JFK.
Defoe's the same age as Andy Phillips.
JFK.
You know my feelings on Defoe. I'm glad to see him go. I've never been a fan. I've been consistent in that since day one. I always thought it was a bad signing. I know he scored some memorable goals, but for me it was a pal giving a pal a job. And I'm glad to see him go. I would rather have somebody like it have a go at it, who's hungry, than a guy who's wanting to build his ego up, and that's what I think.
Jimmy, he must be all the moon, no having to wear that top anymore.
Right, I'm listening.
Do you see that top he was wearing for that more? Dear God.
I know, but look, he's gone. He's gone now, and I'm pleased to see him go. I've got my reservations about it, but I'm willing to give him a benefit of the doubt. I think he'll be more hungrier than Defoe is. I think Defoe was just trying to get his pension paid. So I'm glad to see him get him off the wage book and bring somebody who hopefully wants to play for us. I'm happy the way things are going. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt at the moment. We've not lost anybody big, as they say, so we'll just need to wait for the next 17 days. And as I say, we'll be toes and horns will all be getting, the nails will be getting bit off, because I think there'll be a few bids for some of our bigger players coming in come the end of this transfer window. So let's hope that it doesn't come to fruition. So I'm really happy the way things are at this moment in time. But for me, I'll go with the flow, as I say, although I'm not a big fan of his. So I might be contradict myself, but no, I'll go with it, because I'll let the gaffer's judgment go in that one. So I'm happy with that.
Okay.
No, I'm quite happy that the foe's away, but I'm reasonably happy that Big Hitton's back as well. I think the boy will do his turn. I really do. I think Mackay will bring the best out of him as well. If there's anything in there to be brought out, he'll bring it out in him. Definitely. It's fitness. I don't know how fit he's going to be. That's the only thing. There's another one I just thought of, by the way. Why don't we bring Katic back and do a swap deal with Suter and say, you take Katic on loan, you give Suter the new?
I'm just with what happened with Katic and the squad number. It makes you think that there's moves afoot. I would be surprised if he's announced that he's got a new club mate. If I'm being honest,
I hope we didn't do it that way. The big guy. I hope we didn't do it. I hope we didn't find it out that way.
I hope it was
Sanji's number.
I hope that was the last time it was done, mate. That obviously they moved on, they came to an agreement, and then that happened, mate. I hope it was done that way. Yeah. All right. But we'll see where it takes. Is it interesting? Polarised opinions. Andy Felix, I never thought I'd say this. You're the diplomat on here tonight.
But it won't last for long. Don't worry about that.
Is that Glenn's vodka?
No, I can't get that. Glenn's Alec keeps trying to get me on that Grey Goose, but I can't get that doing here right enough, But I see that when I come
money for it.
I'll pay everything. Man. I'll tell you when I come away. I'll be taking 6 bottles back with me in March. Don't worry about that, pal.
Hey, you've still got a white fiver in your wallet. You're that miserable.
Away.
Is that the one that's the size of wallpaper?
Aye. I've got fivers with Rangers players and King Billy on it now. I can tell you that right enough.
That's legal tender in Belfast.
Well said, Alex Kelly. A white fiver. Brilliant.
Bridge is laughing because he's not alone now.
I'm not alone.
Hey, Bridges get their first 75-inch telly that runs on gas.
Oh, shockers.
Bridgeman, how do you know the new seats?
The seats are brilliant, by the way, brilliant. It's the wee curtains at the back are brilliant as well, hides the sun a bit,
By the way, you might tell the truth now. Just tell me, I'll not tell anybody. Have you had a wee nap in them?
No. Oh, it's really funny, isn't it? I'll tell you. Oh my God. That's what Alec Kelly is caused chaos since he came on tonight. Chaos.
Once again, I'm going to say Andy Felix warned me about him, but I never listened to him.
Oh, I tell you.
By the way, he's just as bad sometimes that Andy Felix.
Bridge, that's nothing. Wait till you get a swatch him in his Batman suit and he's doing the Jolly Roger. Unbelievable. he came on the call one night, Bridge, right, and he says, right, I've got a bit of business on meaning going up the stair. Like I said, well, we'll see you in 30 seconds. He was back in 15.
Are you a smoker, Alex?
That's slanderous. My microwave wasn't working.
Are you a smoker, Alex?
My microwave timer wasn't working. I was cooking myself a meal.
I'm real good for tonight, boys. That's brilliant. Oh.
It's amazing what a signing does it once they play for our club now. We don't know if it'll be a success, Albert, but we know he wants to play for us. We know he knows what it means, and we'll see what it takes, is it?
Aye, well, definitely, mate. It's he's not. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean because he wants to play for us because he's a Rangers sport it'll work out. But it's a step in the right direction. It will not hurt, put it that way. I hope it does work out for the boy. I really, really do. You know what I mean? It's be brilliant. Be brilliant. He's a fantastic player. Let's hope, mate.
Well, that's what I asked for the other night, wasn't it? I said, we could just get a couple in that gets us, and then it they impart it on the other players that are coming in that, that are just coming from all over the place. We've got to have some, as I said the other night, and that was a great move. I liked Tudor when he was at Dundee United, and I remember saying to Youngs at the time, I think we should be looking at that boy, and then obviously he went to Hearts and got his injury problems, but I think he's a good player. I think you're looking at an actual centre half there that'll get stuck right in, clear his lines. He's no bad with the passing. I'll tell you what, I think it could be an aerial threat on corners, for the Rangers. He could get us a couple of goals there, in these set pieces and all that. Golson's had a few this season, and he's not taking them. I think Big Suter could do that. The trick is, can we keep him fit? You know what happens? We go and get these players at Rangers that have got they play all right, and then they come to us and they get an injury. So I hope that don't befall the boy right enough. But I really do want to see him in a Rangers shirt. I think he looks the part. There was a mock-up picture of there in the strip light, and that did it for me. I thought, he looks the part. Let's get him in there now.
That's amazing.
Here's a question.
Wait a minute. I'll come back to you, Albert. We'll be joined by the Warren Beatty of Rangers Radio. Jim Fee Paisley's joined us. Evening, Jim.
Warren Beatty.
Oh, God, you're
brilliant.
I didn't realise my picture's been in the Paisley Express this week. I say cameras all over the place. So, take photographs of me.
How we doing, Jim?
You're a film star.
Aye, great. It's lovely here. But by the way, I may make my stay short because I'm up a lot now. It might sound echoey, right? The fantastic conversation. I was actually sitting here laughing. People are wondering why I'm laughing, But anyway, I can't remember what I was phoning about now. It was ages ago when I was listening to the show.
Do you think he's a clue?
Different subjects. There was one particular subject you were speaking about earlier on about Big Cedric Itten. He's on his way back. And I was wondering what the guys were thinking when we signed Cedric Itten. What were we looking for there? We were looking for a Colin McAdam type, or a Mark Hateley type, or a Derek Johnson type. We didn't get any of them.
Well, target man.
A big guy, 6 foot 6 or whatever height he is. We didn't get that. He just scored different types of goals. I'm quite looking forward to the Big Cedric coming back again. So he may have something different this time when he comes back.
Hope so. George EK, you said you weren't a fan, but does he give you something
I'm not
different?
a fan by him, man, know what I mean? But where he's been where he's been, how bad it's been for him, know what I mean? He must be biting to the bit. He get back to Rangers, not talking about. Actually shows what he's actually got, know what I mean? Just come, shows what he's got, do your best, man. That's all we want, innit?
Aye, okay, aye. I'm really lucky, and I'll go to Albert, and then Albert can give his point. Albert, you need a bit of luck, don't you?
Of course you do, mate. Big Itten and all, everybody's forgetting about Big Itten. He came at the worst possible time you could come to Rangers, right through that COVID in 2020. And he was up in that flat for long spells. He's on his Jack Jones, you know what I mean? So he came at a bad time, and the big boy stuck with it. So you got to give him a bit of credit going. The boy wants to be with Rangers. He wants to prove that he's a player. So I think the big boy's going to do his a turn. Maybe not a starter. I don't think he'll be a starter, but he'll definitely do his a turn.
Don't mention
Albert. How many times did they start in the first team, the starting 11?
Oh, no many, Jim. It wasn't many.
I'll give you that one, James, just because it's you. If you give me 1 second, yeah?
Of course.
Yes. Bill, what was the point you were going to make, mate? Before
Right, if Golson stays, Balogun gets a year's contract. You've got Bassey, Balogun, Helander comes back. You've got Suter. Does Suter start? Is Suter a starter?
Oh, what a question.
What month are you talking about?
Do you know something? I'll give the stats. He's played 41 games for us, Big Cedric. That surprised me. But only 10 starts.
That's actually more than I thought.
Me too. That's surprising, Oxy, 10 starts. Good, aye. Oh, that is surprising. And how many goals, Oxy?
Let me see. 6, including 1 penalty. That would have been against the Belgians, wouldn't it?
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's 50%, just under 50%. So, good luck to him. He may come back fitter and better and stronger. I think he was unlucky, Big Cedric. You know, I think he was a situation at the time. I would like to have seen. I like to have seen him staying there longer to give him a better chance. I don't think it. Well, as you said, 42. Oh well, okay then. So, but we've got a run in here, and we're looking for goals. The big man can give you the odd goal. You say 10 goals. Well, let me get another 10 goals. Another 10 goals around the scene will do me. In fact,
Aye, the right 10 goals, Jim.
Eh?
The right 10 goals. Important goals.
Aye, right. Aye.
He's got a habit of scoring the important goals. I like that. Louis Natural Novel, dozen goals a season, but it was the right dozen goals.
Aye,
absolutely. That captures would be perfect.
All Bears' point, Balogun, I don't know what the deal is with his extension. Is it the both parties have to agree? Obviously, it looks as if Katic is away. So, if just for a bit of fun, Golson signs. Then you've got Helander and Bassey on the left. Does Suter start? That's the point that all Bears making. Just a yes or a no, just a bit of fun. So I'll start with the wisest guy on the show tonight, Andy for Leeds.
Just wanted a yes or a no, aye.
Oh, well, you were doing okay.
I was doing all right. I tell you, I changed that for you, didn't I? I would start him, yes.
Okay. AK?
Yes.
Yes, I would start him.
No, it's EK. I thought you said
sorry,
EK.
George, you're banging. He was talking to me.
I thought he said EK.
EK?
George, you'll need to start playing Amanda's second name.
Heard that.
George?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Yes. Albert?
No.
I'm a no as well. Jim for Paisley?
I forget what the question was. What was the question again?
Are you hiding in a laugh, are you?
I'm not here. I'm actually. In case somebody's looking for me. Yeah, by the way, I've been questioned on it. Where have you been? So.
HR be looking for him on Monday. You were sitting at your desk just laughing at yourself, then you were in the toilet talking to yourself.
Well, hey, what else is new?
Jim, you've been at one of Boris's parties.
To be honest with you, I didn't think I would let anybody know this, but Jim done the buffet.
That explains the dancing.
Yeah, I've got something else here. If all Bears getting filled up. I know that's enough. Am I still doing it?
No, you carry on, Jim. You're doing better than me.
No, I was going to say, all Bears. If all Bears getting tooled up, I've got a big cracking rolling pin. There's a little tool, so I'll join him wherever he's going.
Just hide it in a box of Pringles.
And I can confirm Jim's killed a lot of people with his rolling pin because the volleyball have been awful.
Oh my God! What was the
Where
question
were we?
again, Oxford?
Right, where were we?
What was your what was your question again?
I just feel you don't take it serious enough, Jim. Right.
I can't hear you. The lads are all giggling.
The question was, if Golson signs Highlanders fit, Massey's about the Suter start.
Well, Suter's a benchman for me. We don't know anything about the guy. Okay, we know he plays for Hearts, he's played for Scotland, but he's not played for Rangers yet, Oxford.
Okay, so it's a no then.
No.
Right, okay. JFK. Bridgeman?
It's a yes for me. I need to start. He needs to start.
Okay, in front of Golson?
Well, not in front of Golson, but it might come down to that, actually, depending on what's happening with Golson. If he signs, Golson's got the pack. He's got the jersey. So he's got a big job to do.
Okay.
So take is it EK, AK, or JFK?
It's JFK. Okay.
Okay. For me, it's a no.
Okay. Just as well. What's that, George?
I must be in a fara.
Oh, I see you done there. All right, okay. Right, okay. But listen, it's a wee bit of fun, all bear, wasn't it?
Aye. It could happen. That scenario could happen, by the way.
Yeah, Oxford, can I say something? Just in case something comes here in the work. Just in case something kicks in here. Listen, we'll get Suter whenever we want him. There's money on the table we want him. We had a discussion last night about how much money people wanted to pay for him. So if it goes into February or March, we'll send him a line of 3 sausage rolls now.
We can't bring him in then.
And a bowl of champagne.
We can't bring him in then, mate. We've only got to the end of January. Then it has to wait to the end of May.
Oh, right. I thought if once he signed that for me, we can get me and say no, right, it's going to be in January, right?
Aye.
All right, leave us 3 sausage rolls, a bowl of fucking Beaujolais or something for them. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, John, wait a minute.
We will not be held to ransom with these people. Oh, yeah, we will not do that. Right? Yeah. I think we had this discussion last night, me and the Bears, you and me and the Bears, right? So, see what they're getting.
I'll cut across you, James. The Warrens beat you at Rangers Radio. We'll be joined by Denver Bear. Evening, Denver.
Warren beat.
All right, Denver.
How we doing, guys? How we doing?
Hi, Denver.
Aye, good.
All right, mate. All right, good, mate. Good.
What I need to get right straight out for the first get-go here, all bear. I was at the gun store last night, bought 2 new guns. Let's do away with the blade thing, and we'll go right to the proper hardware.
Yes, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you.
Don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Nice to gunfights doesn't work. That's what the Mexicans do here, and it never works all bear. Trust me on that one.
Mrs. Allbear wouldn't let him touch one of them. He couldn't be trusted.
Aye, well, they let me take it as well, so.
No, Denver, that's not true. I've got a cowboy outfit she bought me for my Christmas, so I'm not going to here's a cowboy.
That's a different. She's got a higher warfare outfit, and that's a different story, and we don't want to know that.
And I've never been in her wigwam.
That's because you can't.
GFK, your money, haha, you know.
Jim, that's because Allbear can't get his TP stone up.
I don't need weapons of mass destruction. I'm called Jimmy the Skull.
There you go.
Here we go.
You don't like crazy people.
How about you,
You're not
Denver?
coming with, Jimmy. You're eating sausage rolls somewhere. I'm out there doing battle. You're eating sausage rolls.
Aye. If you want to eat Jimmy the Skull, just you come ahead with your blades.
Rolling, yeah. Here I come chilled up with rolling pins.
Oh my God. Jim, you need to get a man's too. What's this rolling pin nonsense? If you come with an apron, you're getting sent home.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's a few on here wearing an apron, mate. You're cast aspersions.
I'll be wearing one tonight, Ox. I'll be wearing one tonight, my man. Anyway, so what I was going to say was the only way I would give Hearts money for Big Shooter is if Goldson leaves for money in this window. That's the only way I would give him money. Other than that, if Goldson stays, I'd just wait until this summer. That's my take on it.
Andy, that's a man with a bit of sense when you think about it. Andy Felix.
Yeah, I said that to Shugs a bit earlier on there, right enough. If we could get some for Golston, right enough, then you're not losing anything, are you? Golston don't want to be there. Get a bit of money, let him go, and we throw Hearts a wee bit their way. Everybody's good. We've got Suter in there. Golston's gone, and off we go. Then I don't know nothing about this Dutch centre half, but they seem to be fancying him. So you would have two central defenders. Not that it's be good breaking your team up anew, but if you could get away for nothing, Golston come and get him some money for us. We gave some of them, and then $2 million what they're so-called asking for this centre half in Holland. That might be a pay for. Surely we can lay $2 million out of the so-called 12 to 16 million there, right enough. But never mind that. Throw a bit of money out of the Rangers TV money that we made, $1.5 million. Take it out of that.
I think that all goes in together, but that was good news. That was good, wasn't it?
Brilliant, absolutely. It just shows you worldwide, doesn't it, who's taking up the subscriptions. But we know we don't have to worry about that. We're all over the place, and we always will be. So that's good for the club and all that. What we did last season. None of us got into the games, and you've all paid your season tickets and all that. That just makes you proud to be a bear, doesn't it? But we're different from everybody else, as I've said many, many times.
George UK, does that make sense? What Denver's said?
Aye, it does. I have to agree with him with that, man. I mean, that sentiment. You know what I mean?
Aye, okay.
I'm totally hung, mate. I'm just totally against him getting the lottery farts for a lot of money by, man. I mean, Jesus.
I understand that. I understand the rationality. I get it. I don't think there's anybody on here doesn't understand it. But what we also don't understand is if you wanted somebody and it was a good deal for you, why you would cut off your nose to spite your face. Yeah.
Aye, I totally get that.
I get that. That's the other side of that coin, if you like. 8K.
What side?
Aye, the 8K. Does Denver make sense?
Aye, it's a good point Denver makes, and I know where he's coming from. He doesn't want to unsettle the team, and Golson offers that stability because he's been there for so long. And to be fair, he is doing a great job of ushering Big Bassey into that position with Hollander not being there. But I'm just a wee bit fearful if the season goes on and there's obviously massive games coming up, how committed is Golson going into a 50-50 tackle? Is he all there? Is he all in? Because if he was, he would have signed for us already.
Well, be the boys due. And we all assume that he's going to be leaving. Since the semi-final at Ibrox, Hampden, he's been consistent and he's been good. In fact, if we're being honest, JFK.
That's true.
Aye, I can understand what you're saying there, but I mean, whether Goldson's there or no, I would still pay the money for Suter. I definitely would. Although I did agree with your Sherlock here, I wouldn't put him right into the team right away, but he's there. And I don't think it'll be long before Suter's in his position. I've told you my back four: Tavernier, Suter, Hollander and Barisic. So if somebody wants to come in for Golson, I'm happy with that. But until somebody does, then no, I know he'll perform for us.
Just a wee quick one. to pick you up on that. Do you think Golson had upped his game thinking he was going to be moving in this window?
No, I don't actually. No, I don't. I just think that the fresh voice, new ideas, and he's reacted to it like the whole team, if I'm being honest.
Sure.
But I've never really considered about the move. I think if the Golson moves, like all the moves in football, like my ex-manager moves and Suitors move, I think that they happen months before they actually sign on the dotted line. I think we're on. Sometimes we get a wee bit kiddie.
Can I ask a question, Ox?
Yes, of course you can, James.
When's the last time Conor Golson went for a 50-50 challenge?
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
When was the last time you had to?
Well, this is true. That's what I'm saying. This is why this guy's played for 2 years without being an injured player. Maybe he's wide enough, wider than most. That's why the other centre back that played in about him are all injured. Maybe he's wider than the average bear.
I'll take that to a white bloke, Alec Kelly.
Very good, you. Don't believe that, Andy Felix.
He done it after he's seen the photos.
Yeah. I right, you and your Diddy Men jacket on you.
Your Diddy Men jacket.
So, I think Denver's still with you. Still there, Denver?
I'm still here. I'm backing up my generator.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
He's reversing Merlin Radio Clyde.
I'm supposed to be working.
So am I. I've got these idiots on with me.
I know. And an idiot for Denver as well.
It's a beating, mate.
I know, I'm backing up a generator. I'm out of the
hurry up, mate.
Right, here we go. Okay, we're done. We're in place. Right, thank you very much.
That's better, isn't it? Bridges pacemaker.
My lights are flickering again.
Right, well, okay. So, who come on there? Who didn't think we should have signed Suter? Who said that? Who came in and thought? All right, was it?
No, here, Oxford, I said, when's the last time Golson went for a 50-50 tackle? Aye.
You know,
maybe he's wider. Maybe he's wider than most centre halves have got. They're all injured.
I don't think he's that type of player, mate. He's a stealer. He's a stealer, a guy, and when he takes the ball forwards rather than a cruncher, if that makes sense to you.
That would make sense, absolutely.
I think that's
a big jobby bag.
I don't know. Don't know. I think you've got to be fair, Albert. He's been pretty consistent the last 2 years, hasn't he? He's made mistakes, but who doesn't he?
The big adversary said about Connorman. He's maybe not very good, but he's always fit and ready to play.
Aye. It's a big part of football, but isn't it? If you follow a jersey every week.
Mm-hmm.
Every week. Well, gentlemen, we're getting close to that evening. That time. It's been a bit of a giggle. I'm going to get on you all. We've got a few minutes yet, but just to get your thoughts, how the club's gone. Yeah, just briefly, because obviously ins and outs, we're picking up bits and pieces. Even hearing the Olsen deal, the right winger could be back on the table, but you never know. Right, okay, I'll let Denver so Denver can go. Denver?
Aye. Excited about the future, excited about the present. It's all looking good. We're rocking and rolling. We've got good people in charge. And I think Big Eaton will take a big boost to working with Roy Mackay. Anyway, all the best, guys. I need to go. I've got some fellow Masons to meet up with. So all the best, guys. And keep it nice.
Cheers, Denver.
All the best. All the best. All the best, guys. Take care. Bye.
Cheers, Denver. Jim for Paisley.
Oh, it's nice to call, man. Again, what I'd like to say, Oxford, I think I mentioned this, or I know I did mention it about 4 or 5 weeks ago. It'd be hilarious if we went through the rest of the season unbeaten. I think we're on track for that. I think I don't see anybody in this league that's going to do us any damage. They can sign all the Japs and kamikaze squad they want, and we're home free, I think.
All right, mate. All right. Just remember Pearl Harbor. All right. Right, Jim. Always a pleasure, mate. You look after yourself and go and put the great back into Great Britain.
Fantastic. Lovely to speak to you guys. Fantastic.
Yes. George for EK, how do you think the club's going?
I think the club's on the right direction, 100%. And everything's moving ahead in the right way. And I can just see it getting better and better. That's what I think. And honestly, I think we're going to win the league this year enough.
All right. Andy?
I just think we're too good for anybody else in the league. That's what I think.
Andy?
Yeah, I think we're in a good place as well. I think we're going about our business professionally there right enough, and hopefully if the couple of irons in the fire that we think we're worrying about comes off, can only be good for the club going forward. The real problem is the back end of the transfer window. The Rebo one worries me, and Morales. If we keep A2 and we go relatively unscathed, I think we'll go on and win the league. Hopefully. By the way, Jimmy, I read somewhere that he's not been picked in the Colombian squad, Morales. So
no, he's not been picked, but the manager's making a lot of noises about possibly picking him.
Right, okay. Well, let's hope it doesn't happen and he stays with us, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going forward definitely, and great. Been great chatting to you tonight. Good laugh as well. I really enjoyed that. All
right. Bridgeman, you happy with where your club's going, mate?
I am indeed, pal. I am indeed. It's for someone like me, obviously going through the most recent decade or so. We'll come back to wherever we are. We need to be here. We deserve to be up close to it, if not at the top of the league, and that's what we should always go for and strive for. And we're doing the right thing to get there. I'm convinced of it. So all I can say is the Rangers really are the best team in the world. There you go.
AK.
Definitely going in the right direction. For 10 years, vast majority of 10 years, we wondered, is there ever going to be any light at the end of this tunnel? And eventually the light shone through. We won in 55. So onwards and upwards, let's build on the foundations and let's cement us as being the most successful team in Scotland again. Let's go.
Well, we've reached that time of the evening, and it's a shout out for JFK, then Albert.
It was good to be back on tonight, mate, and what a fantastic night it's been. Good laugh, good topics, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait till the next time I'm on. And as I've always said, onwards and upwards. So the old saying is, we are a people, mate. No one like us.
Albert?
I thoroughly enjoyed it tonight, mate. Good laugh, as Jimmy said. I liked on with Jimmy and yourself and Bridge. It was superb, and thanks for having me on. I'm just going to watch the rest of the golf on my 96 1/4 inch telly.
Oh, well said, Albert.
It's over to you, Bridgeman.
Oh, what can I say? By the way, Oxford, a fantastic evening tonight. Brilliant entertainment for anybody who wanted to listen. I'm sure it all came out well. It is a bit daunting in amongst so many rough people and tough people, so you get a wee bit frightened, you know. So I can understand how you're feeling. But seriously, to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, remember one thing. I've got a couple of nights sleep, and then we're back. Rangers are coming back, so everybody better watch out. Everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us, and so do they.
I know your team plays on Monday, Bridge, but the rest is playing Tuesday, right? Right, okay, can I thank all the callers? Good laugh. Can I also thank Bridgeman, GFK, and of course Albert. It was a pleasure. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back on Monday night at 8 o'clock, building up to the Aberdeen fixture the following evening. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Have a good weekend. Take it away. Old School Blue.